he's heartbroken. And I'm heartbroken for the people of Waterford, but I'm delighted for the people of Galway. And that's always the way it was going to be today. And
well said.
What an occasion.
I know, Mike.
What an emotional day. It's a very emotional day.
I have to say, it's been some match. The full-time score in Croke Park, Galway, 26 points. Waterford, 2 goals, 17. Back in 1980, the great Joe McDonough, another great Galway man, sang here on the steps of the Hogan stand, the West away. So no matter where you are, in Baha, Gort, Loughrea, Ballinasloe, Newin, Ahaskra, Fohenna, Oranmore, Mary, Gort, Tullamore, wherever you are, you can now rejoice because Galway are the All-Ireland champions. The West is truly awake, like it was when the great late Joe McDonough sang it here.
Yeah, Martin, they did it with great style in the second half. The first half was cagey, as we thought it would be. Galway had a great start. Waterford got a goal against the run of play to keep them in it. But in the second half, David Burke, Joseph Cooney in the first half, Niall Burke, Cathal Mannion, Conor Cooney, Jason Flynn, some brilliant scores and some heroic defending. And Waterford, brilliant cheer for them, but they're going to be just I just can't describe how disappointed they're going to be. It's been such a long wait. It's heartbreaking for them, but it's Galway's day. We have to give the credit where credit is due. They were there in 15, they were there in 12 in a replay, and Micheál Donoghue came in and probably just added that little bit extra, brought that man management style, gave the players more responsibility. They responded, and look at great cheer for them. They were the most consistent team all year. They've won the league, they've won the Leinster Championship, and now they've won the All-Ireland. So congrats to Galway, and look at heartfelt commiserations to Waterford. A great team, great sportsman, and Brick Walsh, maybe the last time we'll see him out here. Brilliant man, brilliant player, but it doesn't define you as a player whether you have an Ireland medal. Great players that played for Waterford over years, and Joe Canning, you mentioned him there. He's done so much over the last 10 years for Galway, so there's no laying out in the field, hugging him, emotional for them all, so well done Galway.
It's a wonderful day, and there's the sport of hurling as Dan Shanahan, Dan the man, is out there. John Milan working on the radio here beside us. He's emotional, and I can understand that. And Waterford have contributed to a significant and wonderful match here in Croke Park, and while it's heartbreak for them, they can certainly look forward to the future. But right now, the day belongs to Galway. 1988, Dr. Paddy Hillary was President of Ireland. Charles J. Hoy was Taoiseach. Ray Houghton was putting the ball in the England net for Ireland in Stuttgart. And indeed, in July 1988, a baby boy was born in Crumlin, and his name was Conor McGregor. That was way back in 1988. That was when Galway last won the All-Ireland. So wherever you are in the world, if you're in Perth, New York, San Francisco, wherever, Taiwan, you've got to appreciate that in Galway they love their hurling. And right now, they're celebrating because the famine, as I said, is finally over.
Yeah, and Marty, I think important to say the players in Galway made a big call, and at the time I thought Anthony Cunningham was harshly treated, but they felt there was something else needed. Micheál Donoghue, Francis Ford, a brilliant coach St. Ryan's, my home club, to win the Offaly Senior Hurling Championship last year for the first time in 26 years. And look at the minors out there as well, Marty. To win the minor senior double, that minor team wasn't really fancied at the start of the year, but they beat Cork in the great final here beforehand. So great day for Galway hurling, and great day for Micheál Donoghue, for the management team, and for everyone associated with Galway.
Galway All-Ireland champions 1923, 1980, 1987, 1988, and now today 2017. President of Ireland Michael D. Higgins, he'll know only too well what this will mean to the people of Galway. Proud Galway man today with strong Clare and Limerick roots. As the Galway fans celebrate, Saw Doctors, N17, they'll all be singing in Galway. From now until Christmas, let me assure you that Galway is officially open to be the greatest place on earth for parties and festivals and celebrations.
Absolutely, and look, that David Burke, I don't know who that is, heading up, but David Burke, St. Thomas, as you mentioned, a small club, won an All-Ireland club here a few years ago with his dad, with 5 brothers on the panel. I think it's a savage day for everybody involved. But the forwards for Galway won it today, Marty. The spread of scores, we said that before.
And the substitutions, Mike.
Yeah, but Pádraig Mahoney got 5 from play. Brick Walsh got 1. From their starting forwards, that's all they got from play. And 2 subs got a point each. Whereas Galway's subs, Jason Flynn, 2 from play. Niall Burke 2 from play, Joe 2 from play, Joseph Cooney 2 from play, Conor Cooney 3 from play, Mannion 2 from play.
Let's hear the president, coming Luke Lasquale, Egon O'Farrell, as he presents the Liam McCarthy will spend the winter and the spring down in the West. First Cavan man to be president of the GA. He has the honour and indeed this historic moment to present Liam McCarthy to the Galway captain.
Wherever you are watching this fantastic festival of Irish folk heritage. Best wishes to Waterford. We have no doubt that you will contribute much more to the game of hurling in the years to come. You had a wonderful year of this much tradition, much international job in working hurling in Galway. Tá curtains Liam McCarthy in Dul Trasna na Shania, Honna Galway Irish. Agus don chéad ó míle nígéan ochta was a hump, agus don cúige úr blian, tá cúige úr, tá curtain seo a Galway go muintir na Galway, agus tá an sorum sanis, an curtain seo a runú. Our captain California from the St. Thomas's Club, captain of Galway, David Burke.
This is it. They've waited 29 years. Egon O'Farrell presents the Liam McCarthy to David Burke. Galway are All-Ireland champions 2017. What a moment. History before your eyes. Emotional, spiritual. This is hurling. This is what it means.
Augtar on na Heron, Augtar na Cumanuca scale, August Gohara, na Winter na Galway. It's more than I'm done. McCarthy, a Glocker, son, Fern na Galway. We waited 29 long years, but finally, Liam McCarthy's coming back to the West.
Micheál Donoghue
It's an absolute
hugs
honour for
Margaret
me.
Keady,
Following the captains that have gone,
wife of the late Tony Keady, who's here with her family.
Joe Conley and Conor Hayes. And to be a part of that tradition now is absolutely massive for me. I suppose the most special thing about GAA 15 years ago, I was a 12-year-old lifting a cup for St. Thomas's down Nathanrye. And the special thing about the GAA is when you can have dreams like this, and when dreams come true on days like this in September, and you get up there and you lift the cup for your county. None of this will be able to happen without these bunch of lads that are standing down the steps before me on my left. They're absolutely serious bunch of guys. The management team that have been put in place behind them, absolutely massive as well. But the work, commitment that they put in, not only this year, but over the last number of years, to get the reward today is just for them. Also, it would be amiss of me not to mention players, past management that have gone down through the last 29 years, who put blood, sweat, tears into trying to get up these steps. And this is for everyone from Galway. This is for clubs, this is for family, this is for people of Galway. I can't let the day pass. 29 years ago, this man got man the match in the All-Ireland final in 1988. It would be amiss of me not to mention his name, the great Tony Keady. to Tony's wife Margaret, children Shannon, Anthony, Jake and Harry, we hope to lift the cup today will give you some solace from your grief, if only for a few seconds. One other person that I can't let today pass without mentioning. He was soldiering with us for years. Good friend of mine, first cousin of Conor Whelan. He passed away in 2014. Niall Donoghue, we'll never forget him. We'll remember him today. We'll give a small shout out to the Chariot and Pieta House, who are doing great work for people that are in, I suppose, depression, and hopefully they'll help many more. The next man I want to mention, we rarely, well, sometimes we see eye to eye, sometimes we didn't, but I have to say, the team he brought in around him, this year and last year, absolutely serious team he brought in, backroom team. This man, you have to give him the biggest round of applause for the day, Micheál Donoghue. The backroom team, the next two lads, Francis Ford and Noel Larkin, the selectors, they put in massive work. Serious guys on and off the field. The greatest characteristic about them is they're just great people to have around, great people to work with. Our coach, strength and conditioning, Lucas, he had us in serious shape. His attention to detail is second to none. Our medical team, Ian O'Connor, Dave Hanley, Alan Daly, Orla Armstrong. I mean, for them to put up the likes of us over the last couple of years, we thank them today. Other members that deserve huge mention: Damien Joyce, Dave Morris, Chris O'Connor, the goalkeeping coach, our kit men, Derek Ford, Rory McGuire, Adrian Silver, and the great Tex Callahan. Also Maeve, our nutritionist, Kieran Cosgrove, and Owen and the crew at Feed the Pulse, we'd like to thank them as well. A special mention as well, a good friend of mine over the last number of years since I came on the panel. Been working with him closely, Mike Larkin. We owe you a huge, I suppose, debt. The work, you made things so much easier over the last couple of weeks. Along with yourself, Pat Kearney, John Hines, John McGann, we'd like to thank you as well. The next group of people I'd like to thank, I'm echoing the words of all my fellow panel mates, our family, the wives, the girlfriends, the people who put up with us day in, day out. We'd like to thank them massively from the bottom of our hearts, especially my own mother and father, who have, I suppose, got me to this stage, and I hold a huge debt of gratitude towards them as well. Thanks very much. And finally, the 16th men were the supporters from Galway, and this is for you! Just a couple of more people I'd like to thank: the sponsors of the championship, Littlewoods, Borgosh Energy, Centra, especially our own sponsor, Supermax, Pat and Una McDonough, who've soldiered with the county, put in massive support financially over the last 29 years, and for them to get their award today is massive, and I'd like to thank them from the bottom of my heart as well. I'd also like to thank the officials, referee the linesmen, the umpires, the fourth officials, all the lads that made this possible today. Also the local media, Galway, good friend of mine, Niall, Sean Walsh, I'd like to thank them. And lastly, I suppose, to Waterford, I have massive respect for the management, for the players, for Kevin. Clare Brass Sport will be on, August by law, Elagov lads. We'll have another day again. You're a young team, you're an up-and-coming team, and you'll be back. And I'd one like to meet you again. 3 cheers to Waterford. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Welcome back to the West Leamland County. We missed you, lads.
What a moment here in Croke Park. The emotion and the joy etched on everybody's faces here. All the Galway people will celebrate this in style. Great speech by David Burke. And let's go down to the sideline for some post-match reaction.
Micheál Donoghue, congratulations. The long, long wait is over. You're taking Liam to Galway.
Yeah, look, it's just, this is what dreams are made of. Look, you know, when we came in to start 2 years ago, we knew we were dealing with a savage team, and look, from any management's point of view, you just want the boys to come in and take ownership of it. And the last year, you know, all the credit has to go to the players. They've been just fantastic. And look, you know, I'm the fella that's privileged in this position, but you know, to all the managers that have gone before me, you know, they've helped nurture these players and develop them as well. And you know, to all the players that have gone through, worn that jersey as well, this is for them as much as the boys here today.
You were in a battle right till the end. What got you there today?
Look, I think, you know, we just said, like, enough was enough. You know, the last couple of years have been really hard, you know, and these boys have been kicked every time they'd lost in 2012, 2015. You know, above any other team, they've got lacerated, but nobody ever mentioned the resilience these boys have and the character they had, because they kept bouncing back. And look just what this means. This is what it's about. And, you know, they knew coming today they were going to do the job. And as I said, the banter today was enough. We were going to win it.
And a lovely moment there with Tony Keaty's family. It really has been an emotional day.
It has, yeah. Look, going back to the semi-final and the week after, you know, we had the honour and privilege of bringing them into training last week, and their strength, their just total resilience to push on. And look, it's an absolute pleasure to have them here today with us.
It's a special day. Enjoy the celebrations, Micheál.
We will. Thanks very much.
I have absolutely no doubt that Micheál Donoghue and the Galway players and their supporters will indeed enjoy the celebrations. While Micheál was talking there, the Saw Doctors and N17 was being shouted out by the big crowd here in Croke Park. I'm not quite sure if Liam McCarthy is going to head down the N17. Maybe it will in time, but it's certainly heading to Galway in 2017. The panel here in studio have enjoyed all of that, and I'm sure Ger and Liam and yourself as well, Henry, want to add your congratulations to the winning team of 2017.
Absolutely, total congratulations to Galway, you know, especially East Galway, South Galway, just passionate people there about hurling, and 29 years for them is a very long time. In that time they've won 10 minors, 10 under-21s, you know, and always the promise of more to come, beaten in 6 finals, and today is Deliverance Day at long last, and they're going to have a brilliant winter, not alone tomorrow night, but the whole winter this year is going to be some winter in Galway, but no county deserves it more. And built today a test of their character as well as a test of their hurling at half-time, giving away 2 goals against the run of play, came back in the second half, and their forwards especially, the work rate of their forwards and the scoring of the ability of their forwards, the twin towers in the down the centre of their defence, and of course David Burke, brilliant captain at midfield. That's what led the way for them today. So heartiest congratulations, not alone to the team, but every hurling person in Galway, because they love the game, they're passionate about it, and what a better fitting tribute to the late Tony Keaty than to bring that cup back across the Shannon and into Galway tomorrow.
Liam Sheedy, Ger mentioned East Galway and South Galway, and of course in actual fact the Liam McCarthy Cup is not going that far this year because you're the other side of the Shannon.
Yeah,
won't be seeing it. I got as close to the Lee McCarthy said today when I was sitting there on the table. That's as close as we're going to get to it in tape, but unless we pop over to Portumna. But listen, in fairness, like I thought defensively in the second half, Galway gave a masterclass. I thought, Henry spoke about the spine of their defence before the game. Like, really, Pádraig Mahoney got 8 points. Other than that, they got 2 points off their bench. They really could not break down that Galway defence. I thought they were absolutely send a message up the field because, up front, they made some mistakes. They never looked like getting a goal, but they picked off some really, really nice scores. And look, when Waterford look back at it, they had some chances in that second half that they didn't convert, and really they needed to convert all their chances. Their wides drifted into double scores. But listen, today is all about Galway. I thought the two teams treated us to a fantastic to double scores. But listen, today is all about Galway. I thought the two teams treated us to a fantastic final. Both extremely, extremely well prepared. Unfortunately, in this game, there's nothing for second. There's only one winner. But Galway fully deserving, and the scenes afterwards. And we had the pleasure of having Margaret Keady and her family up here earlier on. So special day for Galway.
Yeah. And look, the man in shot at the moment, Joe Canning, the privilege of going down when I first made his debut. I don't know, Jerry, you managed him at the time, 2008. He scored 2-14 against Cork. He was only 19 years of age. And we said he's going to win a load of our Irons. He's a special player, a special talented. And he has got some knocks over the years. But I'm absolutely delighted for himself today and for his family. And, great players deserve to win an All-Ireland. It would be great if everyone got to feel this occasion.
Sure.
And, how they're feeling at this moment in time. So I think it's brilliant for Galway. They've improved. 2015, I think they've learned a lot. They've got better last year, and I think they got a little bit better this year. And that's what it's just about, the small margins to get you over the line. And, the support. At one stage, Waterford were coming back early in the second half, and Waterford had an easy free just to tap the ball over the bar. And I never heard before of the Galway supporters. They started cheering for Galway, even though Waterford were just about to score a point. And that, for me, there was a different feel about Galway all year. And I think there was a serious connection between the team and the supporters. And you can see it in the way Micheál Donoghue, I think, has delivered that. And worthy winners.
Gerald, just to pick up on what Henry said there, I think most people could see that all through this year and through this championship, that the Galway supporters, as Henry said, they believed in this team, which wasn't always the case in the past, maybe.
Do I thought the league semi-final against Limerick, that was the day I said that this team can win the All-Ireland, because what I saw different from that day was the work rate of their forwards and their physical, how they looked physically. They looked totally transformed from a year ago. They looked totally transformed. But they were all prepared to do everything for the team, and nothing epitomised that more than the Joe Canning David Burke combination. We all know about the club rivalries in Galway down through the years, how it undermined them and all. So that was all put aside from the very, very start. And when supporters see that, supporters see that kind of thing happen, they just buy into it. And remember now, this team has won every trophy available this year. They have won the league, they have won the Leinster Championship, and they have won the All-Ireland. They're going to have 3 cups in that photograph.
And their minors have won the All-Ireland.
And their minors have won the All-Ireland. As I said at the start, when Beha won the 7-a-side last night, the treble for the week. So it's Galway's weekend. Well done to them all. No county deserves it more than they do.
But we must say a word of tribute as well, Liam Sheedy, to Waterford. When the final whistle blew here and the congratulations were ongoing and the speeches began, all the crowd, not just the Galway people, but the Waterford people had stayed on as well, because this was actually a great final.
Yeah, and look, the one thing we all said collectively in the panel before the match is let both teams bring and play to their potential. And I think both teams brought a lot to the occasion today. You were always afraid, like for Waterford, let's not forget, it's the first All-Ireland final that you step out on. Nothing prepares you for it. Derek McGrath, Dan Shannon and their backroom team, Owen Murphy, they deserve huge credit because they were right in that match. That match could have gone either way. They could have hit the back of the net and took the game to a replay. So they'll just rue a few chances that they missed. And ultimately, I think, again, with Galway, Niall Burke and Jason Flynn made a really good impact off the bench, and that probably was the difference in the end.
Let's go down to hear from the Galway captain. He is with Claire McNamara.
David Burke, congratulations. What did it feel like to be the first Galway man in 29 years to climb those steps to lift that cup?
I know, it's surreal. I suppose it was in my dreams forever, and the moment I said there a while ago, I said, like, as a 12-year-old, you dream like days of this, and that's what's so special about the GAA. I'm looking up in the stands there, I'm looking at lads past them, and even present young players, and I'm absolutely thrilled. They all have a connection to any player in the field, and I suppose that's what sport is about, that's what hurling's about at the end of the day.
At what point today did you really believe it was going to happen?
I suppose we went a pint down there in the second half, and I looked at Joe and Johnny and I said, lads, this is not happening again. And we went down into the pit of our stomach and we just pulled out something and we got a couple of scores. Our subs obviously made a massive contribution to the game, Gio and Niall Burke in particular. And look, it was a whole panel effort from 16 to 31. They're the guys that made it. They're the guys that pushed us all the way after the Leinster final. So I owe a huge deal of gratitude to them as well. They've done the work.
The pain of previous defeats, was that the telling thing, the thing that drove you?
Well, I suppose, look, we'd have past good experiences and bad experiences, and we just have to bottle all that together and try and just use it over the last couple of days, because, as I was saying, 12 months ago, we had hurt here against Tipperary, and we knew we're not far away from getting over the line. It was all up here in the top 6 inches, and I've just been telling the lads all year, just believe it, we're going to do it, and just thrilled now, really, to be honest.
What about this occasion, this support?
It's absolutely massive. Look, you can look around the stadium, the colour is unreal. Like, it's mad to think it's 29 years and the hurlers and the quality of players that have gone through the county, and this is for them. They've sold it, they've put blood, they've put sweat into it. Management teams have put all that into it as well. And look, Joe, we'll cherish this time. We're absolutely delighted and we'll enjoy the moment.
Well done, go and enjoy.
Thanks very much.
Cherish the dream, he said, and there is no doubt that the team and their supporters will do every little bit of that. I remember, lads, going back a few years when Galway won the Football All-Ireland in 1998 after another gap there, 32 years in their case. And we were out at the victory celebrations afterwards, and one of the lads that I was talking to actually fell out the window. The celebrations were so exciting. Or maybe my conversation was boring him or something like that. I would suggest in the Winners' Hotel tonight, lock the windows, lads, it's not safe.
The funny thing about it is, sometimes it doesn't really sink in for a while after you're winning.
No doubt.
Because you're waiting so long for it, and there's nearly a sense of relief. It's the overwhelming emotion nearly afterwards. But that's not the case with the supporters.
The supporters, they'll be well on the way, Jared. That's it.
Straight away there, you know. And isn't it brilliant? When the game was over there, Croke Park was still full while they were talking. Even Waterford supporters stayed along. You know, occasions like this are so rare in sport, but it shows all the very best that's in Irish sport, you know. We're not saying Hurling's the best game in the world, but in Irish sport, there's something about Irish people and sporting occasions and their ability to absolutely enjoy it and make the most of it. And you saw a perfect example of it there. And that'll go on, not alone for tonight, but of course in Galway, it'll go on for...
And if we're deprived, lads, of one thing as a result of this All-Ireland final, is the sight of John Milan riding a horse naked down the quays in Waterford.
Absolutely. I look at him, fairness to John, I'm sure he's an emotional wreck. I can just imagine I know he was on radio today. But again, just David Burke's interview there, Michael, I think it shouldn't go missing. David Burke wasn't having his best season to date, and he was walking in here into Croke Park today, captaining a team that was looking to win back in All-Ireland after 29 years. I think he really, really stepped up today. Plucked 2 points in the first half, plucked another 2 points in the second half. And his leadership, Ger spoke about leaders before the match.
Yes.
I thought, you know, captain's armband was on. He said, I'm grabbing this thing. And he mentioned about looking at the others in the eye and said, we're not going through this again. And, you know, hats off to him as a captain.
And there's a thing that you didn't see in 1988 when Galway last won the Liam McCarthy selfies in Croke Park. We are taking a short break here on the programme. Back with more on today's hurling final. 26-point to 217 win over Waterford this afternoon. The game was all gentlemen, very tight at half-time, a 1-point advantage to Galway. Early in the second half, the Burks came and grabbed a couple of scores, and for me, I don't know whether you agree, this was a turning point, I thought, in the game. It just kind of maybe laid down a marker.
Yeah, and what people forget is actually Waterford, they got a point ahead in the 45th minute. Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Yes,
Niall Burke came on,
that's it.
and he won a free. And then 2 brilliant points from Niall Burke after that. So he won a free first, for which they scored the point. Then he scored two great points after that. Now, all because of the work rate of the forwards around him. That's when they really, in the when he came on especially, he added that bit of pace that wasn't there with Jonathan Glenn. And then we had a miracle score altogether, a real captain score from David Burke. This is what captains do. This is what the leadership we were talking about. That was the one. That's the one that really drove it home. And look at, he said, no, drive it on after that. But that's the main
But again, I think it shows you the mentality and the unity that you had within Galway. Because previously, if Jonathan then came in, Niall Burke is left off, you could have had the sulks, you could have said, look, he came in today, but he was at one with the decision. He said, Micheál, you've called it. When I get my chance, I'm going to come in and I'm going to make the difference. So that was a real sign of the unity that exists within that Galway camp in 2017.
Now, when those points were scored by Galway, Henry, they hadn't the match won by a long shot at that stage because it was still in the melting pot. And then there was another period a little bit after that where Galway got a couple of points. Conor Cooney got the first of those. That kind of gave them, if you like, a little bit of breathing space in the match.
Yeah, to be fair, Waterford did respond, but then again, Galway responded back. And Conor Cooney, absolutely unbelievable score. And that's the difference. Gerard was talking about full forward line. You need your full forward line to score. And Cyril Farrell, clubman of his, Jason Flynn, came on the field. Cyril was sitting beside me outside. He roared the ear off me as that one was going over. J.O. as his name. So, but that was the difference, They came on and they were able to impart their scores. Now, to be fair to Waterford's bench, they did come in. Tommy Ryan, Brian O'Halloran got brilliant scores as well. But that period, the lads just showed. Galway got 4 points, and that was it. Waterford could never get back, But
go on.
No, fair ahead.
Yeah, you look at things like that, the scores that Galway got on this occasion and how they kind of either turn the match or seal the match or whatever. But of course, the losers will always look at incidents in their match. And Gerard, Waterford had a few wides in that second half, and they will look back and say, jeepers, have we got one or two of them?
Unusually for them, they had some wides in that second half. That are fives, I think, there in that one. Ones that usually go over. I suppose it's a sign that when they went behind, doubt began to creep in. When things are going well for you here, now the worker tried very hard. He moved out the field later on. Now, Kevin Moore, so reliable, and has made his name by scoring these type of frees or these type of points wide again. So all of those. Now I thought towards the end of the game, the referee gave everything to Waterford. I think he was trying to make up for some of the little things he did in the under-21 maybe. But those are a sign that your confidence is waning. You start sending wides like that, and really there was a miss free, and that was a decent hope. You resort to that towards the end. Your inexperience, their inexperience told at the end. Whereas Galway, been through the hard road, having all those disappointments, today they said we are not leaving it behind us, and you could see that in their body language and in the play. Waterford, once they went behind, the body language, you could see it begin to sink. That's it. But
there's still a fair crowd down on the pitch and the stands down there, by the way, as you would expect on a day like today. Down amongst them, we have Donald O'Grady, Tony Brown and Cyril Farrell. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Cyril, I think we're going to have to start with you first. You were up here, as Henry Shefflin said, roaring in his ear during that match. You've made it down pitch side. You're a happy man.
Michael, it's unbelievable. We felt all years it was Galway, that they were coming right at the right time, and they have experience of losing, really. And I think that actually, once they talked to the boys during the week, they were hurting from being in 3 All-Irelands and going down the road on the Mondays. The boys can tell you when you lose, it's a terrible feeling. So that experience today, they drove over the line, and David Burke kind of being captain, led by example. Joe Cannon, all the boys here, Dahi Burke, Gareth McInerney, the leader stood up again, heart to half back then, man. And I just thought all over the pitch. They led for most of the match. The big thing was, to be fair now, Galway got a fantastic start, but Waterford came right back into it again. Galway point up at half-time, had done all their hurling. Once the second half, Waterford got the point up, but then Galway got on top again, and I just felt like, as the boys referred to there, they missed a few scores, but Galway forwards fought very hard, and all year they've been scoring 25 to 30 points, and even though they haven't hit the goals, they're scored from outside. There's a lot of defensive systems against them, but when you have the hurlers to get up around 30 points, it's very hard to beat you. Look, Michael, there'll be no winter in Galway this year. We'll roll on. The weather won't matter to us. We'll celebrate for the full 6 months, no problem.
You will, of course. I have no doubt about that, sir, but we do have to say commiserations to the man standing beside you there, because Tony Brown, obviously Waterford and you know what this feels like. What are your thoughts right now?
Yeah, well, look, it's very difficult. I suppose, we had a very difficult day here in 2008, and look, it doesn't matter really what you lose in All-Ireland by. You lose it, and that's it, and it can be either the greatest day of your life or the worst day. But look, you got to take your hat off to Galway. They just seem to be able to score that little bit easier up front, and it was funny, people would have said that Waterford's bench maybe might pull it out of the bag today, but it was the other way around. Galway just seemed to bring in their bench at the right time, and Niall Burke and Jason Flynn really turned the game when the game was really in the melting pot. There was always going to be a stage within this game where someone was going to have to step up and say, right, this is our All-Ireland, and at that stage, Micheál Donoghue, in fairness, brought the boys on at the right time.
Donald O'Grady, we certainly enjoyed that match up here in the studio. Did you enjoy it down there, pitch side?
Well, it was intriguing, really, Michael. You know, from start to finish, you know, Galway dominated for a while, then Waterford came back, and right till the end, the last 5 minutes, you know, you'd have to say that you never know really who was going to win. But I think that Waterford had almost a formula, but when Shane Bennett went off early, I think that Maurice Shannon had to come in. And I think that upset Waterford a little bit, but they learned from the experience. They're a very, very young team, apart from, we say, Brick Walsh. So I'd expect them to be back here for many more Sundays.
All right, thanks for that, lads. We're going to let you go at the moment. Cyril, you behave yourself down there now. We have another break coming up here at Croke Park. Straight after that, another chance for you to enter our special Sunday game competition, hurling final. And let's now hear from the Waterford manager, Derek McGrath. He is with Clare.
Derek, a tough day, because I know how much everybody in Waterford wanted this.
Yeah, look, hard day, gut-wrenching dressing room inside, so lads put everything into it for the last 4 years, so bitterly disappointed, albeit, you know, Galway probably marginally better team, you know.
Just 1 point in it at half-time, and then in that second half, you did push in front on 2 occasions.
Yeah, look, that's the nature of it, you know, we were kind of hit with 4 points in a row at the very start of the game, you know, and just so proud of our lads in terms of not crumbling, you know, we managed to get ourselves back in the game almost against the head, if you like, with Kevin's goal, and I think we kind of settled in after that, you know, and just before half-time we had a fairly strong period, but, you know, I think overall, I think it came a little bit easier to them at times, you know, so congratulations to Mihal and the lads from Galway, you know.
You did get those 2 goals, and your subs did make an impact, but I suppose just not enough.
Yeah, and I think equally, you know, Jason Flynn and Niall Burke made an impact for Galway. So I think, you know, the planning in terms of the subs match-offs, if you like, you know, Galway seemed to get it. You know, we got a lot of our lads as well. Tommy come on and got a good point, if you like. But ultimately, I think just marginally shaded by Galway. But just to kind of acknowledge how immensely proud we are of our lads, you know, in terms of there was no capitulation, there was no, you know, we came in as 3-1 outsiders, and we're just overcome with kind of pride for the effort they gave us, you know.
I suppose, yeah, it just slipped out of reach. Was maybe a lack of big final experience, was that a factor?
No, I think I'd love to point to that, if you like. I think sometimes the freshness that can come with being in a final is an advantage to you, so no real excuses other than the fact that maybe God was just small bit better than us on the day, you know.
We can see how emotional it is. What did you say, what can you say to your players in that dressing room?
I just tell them what they mean to you, you know. You tell them you're proud of them. I know it's sometimes the defeatist attitude can sometimes, you know, have negative connotations, but we're just very proud of the lads, you know. We're as I said, we were ranked 12-1 at the start of the year to win the championship, if you like, so we're very proud of the lads, albeit I acknowledge last year that moral victories are probably gone in Waterford, if you like, so hard to get back here again, you know.
You've taken this team a long way. Have you given any thought to the future at this immediate stage?
No, I'm just in a dressing room whereby the scenes are devastation, you know. I've put no thought into anything else, only the fact that, you know, we were just here to try and be as competitive and win the All-Ireland if we could, and unfortunately we haven't done that, you know.
Thank you very much for talking to us, Derek.
No problem. Thank you.
Proud of his players, and rightly so. It's a feeling, Liam Sheedy, that you know. Now,
it is
for you, you saw the good side of it as well afterwards.
Yeah, it did, it took
feeling, Liam Sheedy, that you know. Now,
it is
for you, you saw the good side of it as well afterwards.
It took 12 months to get that feeling. But look, you know, firstly, can I just say on Derek McGrath, I think he's a credit to De La Salle, his club. I think he's a credit to his county, and he's actually a credit to GA, the way he carries himself, win or lose. I think the way he comes out and speaks, and the way he talks the game, and he just carries himself really well. He's a real ambassador for the GA, in my view. So I'm gutted for Derek, but unfortunately, there has to be a winner and a loser. But look, they can come back. I think for Waterford, it is to try and get back out here.
Yes.
In August next year, which is in the but if they get back to the final, I think the pain of today will obviously help them greatly. But you know, as I said, they give it everything, and they just came up that little bit short.
Because I suppose in 2008, Henry, Kilkenny gave them such a walloping that day that I'm sure they never want to see Croke Park again. This is different. It's disappointing, but
yeah, they died with their boots on, and that's all you can ask for. We said at the beginning of the show that you just give it your best, and that's what they did. And I think you can see the emotion in Derek McGrath there, and you can see that there's a great bond and unity between that panel of players. Yes, they will hurt this evening, but if they can bottle that hurt and get it back here and get back in that position, that's what Galway have done. And that was that little bit of hurt drove them over the line. So I think Waterford have performed admirably all year, and as you know, today again they just left everything out in the field, and any more than that you cannot ask for.
So lads, That's about the size of it.
Hard to believe.
Won't see you lads again for a while. I'm getting emotional myself.
Aren't you delighted?
I think you're more worried about the football, boys.
It has been a great year. You know, I suppose what set it up was the Kilkenny-Wexford game below in Wexford Park, because I mean that was an occasion for everyone to say, for not alone Wexford people. That set the tone for the whole year. Then your Cork smash through Munster.
Absolutely.
So unexpected, you know.
Totally.
And then I think once we got to Croke Park here, we had two. Well, you had the quarter-final with Kilkenny, of course, which was outstanding, Kilkenny and Waterford. But here in Croke Park, like, we've had three massive, two semi-finals and a final. Brilliant days. Fitting winners, won the three big trophies. And in the process, they demolished one of the great cliches of hurling. The goals win matches. Four games, the last 4 games, no goal, and still won that.
Still won.
Well done, Galway.
But Gerald, we were always the ones here saying they're going to need goals to win today, and here we're proved wrong, as they say.
I suppose we shouldn't say, like, Kilkenny a bit out of the frame this year. That's been unusual in the last 15 years. Will you bounce back?
Well, you would hope so. Of course, I feel so.
In other words,
you know,
is the talent in the county?
I think there is talent in the county. There's no doubt about it. But they're going to need to improve again. But I think the best teams always rise to the top, and that's why we saw the best 2 teams here. I think what made the championship very open this year was that Kilkenny and Tipperary had took a backward step, and the other teams really came to the fore. And you think back to the great times of the 90s of Gerard's team. You know, it was the new teams, and look. As much as it pains me and Liam to say it, it is great to see someone new. For someone to not experience that field for 29 years. And Waterford, obviously, would love to see them come back in the next year or two to win it. Because
if you look at the history of Galway, you know, when they do come, they usually stay for a while. You know, in the 80s they did, like in 85, 6, 7, there was 5 or 6 years there of that team when they were a real force. These have the potential to be the same. I know they're not thinking that tonight, and rightly so. They're not thinking that tonight. But they have the potential to become a real force in the game. You look at the success they have at minor, how well they played against Limerick and Notre Dame, so they have a huge thing. Now, Waterford can be back as well. You know, there are very few older players there. We think of Patrick Hearn, Stephen Bennett. You know, another year for them. They should develop into forwards. So, and then of course you go outside of that and you look at the like of Clare, you look at Cork, the experience they got this year. You look at Tip, you know, so close to this. There's a whole plethora of teams out there. So. Great days for hurling.
You're making me excited about it. All right, lads, so it's all done and dusted for another year in the hurling championship. But what a year it has been, and what an outcome. Now, just a reminder that